So this is my my Redbull Rampage plate. I think it's probably what people maybe know me best for. I was the first rider to drop in at the first Rampage in 2001. So I got the #1 plate, mostly because I walked up to the table and grabbed a number plate before anybody else did. And so I was the first person to drop in that day, which was a little bit terrifying to be in a judged event. You know, I wanted to hit something that was totally unique, one of a kind sort of line. I got the name Krispy from working in a bike shop where there was more than one Chris. So I had this sort of neurotic benchmate. Used to call me like Crispy Nuggets and Crispy Tacos.
Where the hell are you, Crispy, when we need you?
Crispy! 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 Crispy!
So I just became Crispy, and then I must admit, once my kind of film career took off, it's kind of nice to have a nickname stand out a little bit. So my buddies still call me Crispy to this day that have known me from that era. I was out riding bikes with my buddy Gordy Pfeiffer, who happened to be an extreme skier, one of the best in the world, and got into photography because of being sidelined from injuries. And we were just out hitting jumps and drops, and he was shooting photos of us that started getting popular. And there was a local filmmaker that was out of Provo, Utah, that was shooting with Gordy, and it just was asking if he knew of any local riders that we could also shoot. And he just threw out my name along with a couple of close friends. And one day I got the phone call, we just met up and started riding, and we ended up spending every weekend all summer traveling around Utah, northern and southern, and just shooting as much as we could. And it's wait all the way until the end of the season until he finally gets everything developed and make an edit. For us, it was like that ultimate sense of freedom and exploration. Eventually, I was kind of pulled away to start Go Ride with Scott, and had the opportunity to help to start a business and grow a community based specifically around the gravity end of the sport.
Well, all of this, I don't know if it was ever really on any type of a plan. It was probably late 90s, and Chris and I were already friends back then, and we were going to races and racing downhill bikes, and at the time, downhill bikes were mostly being made by a lot of like garage tinkerers, and we all loved it and we were into it, but they were hard to find and get, so we started buying from some of these small guys to help promote their product, and really that was kind of all I ever thought it would be. We'd sell some downhill bikes, we'd pay for our own downhill habit, and it slowly evolved from there year after year.
As I started to age as a racer, started mentoring kids that would show up at the bike shop, or you would see at a race that looked like they had a lot of potential. I just couldn't help but try to help them out, loan them a bike, help them get their bike dialed in, help them find some support along the way. And so that over time transitioned into starting a race team with my wife, just so that we could have an organized program and to try to offer support to kids in a way that was never available to me or kids in my generation.
So the idea for Racecraft started kind of one of always Chris's dreams, and we just kept talking about it over time. And I was kind of like, so what are we waiting for? You know, like we have this group of kids that we connect with, and Chris's son Tanner is 16, and so at the time he was like 14, and we started meeting all these kids that want to get into gravity, and I'm like, this is the time, like let's do it. So we were able to start our first year, we had like 12 kids, and it just went.
And it's just like really rewarding and gratifying to be able to offer just the things that I learned over the years, the wisdom and expertise that you learn from someone else and you can kind of pass along. That it takes a lifetime to figure some of these things out if you're doing it on your own. And so it feels really great, especially in this area of Utah that like gave so much to me, that I can give back to the kids in this community.